Hello everyone, my name is Shivani Tyagi, your philosophy and ethics teacher, and today we are going to understand capital punishment. So we are going to understand, should we give a person chance to reform or not, or if crime is so brutal or so heinous, then we should move forward with capital punishment. Now the question arises, who will decide that if this level of crime is heinous and this level of crime is not, right? So these are the kinds of basically questions, come up in our mind when we talk about capital punishment. Before that, let's understand what's the definition of capital punishment, from where it came, and how we are going to judge this, and what is the scenario that is going through. That all we are going to discuss. चलो पहले समझते हैं कैपिटल पनिशमेंट क्या है. सो कैपिटल पनिशमेंट इज नोन एज डेथ पेनल्टी विच इज प्रैक्टिस सैंक्शनड बाय द स्टेट. ठीक है, तो स्टेट के द्वारा दी जाती है to a person death as a punishment for serious crime. Now this level of serious, who is going to decide that this level of crime is serious and this is not? Killing is killing. This is like universal rule that you should not kill, you should not steal. Then how we are going to decide the seriousness about the crime? So this is another question that tells about the society. This raises in the society कि seriousness किस basis पर decide करोगे? A person who is dead. How he is killed is on that basis we are going to decide it, right? So these are the questions that are coming in our mind. Now, according to the theory of deterrence, what is theory of deterrence? This theory of deterrence is fear, building fear in our mind, right? So create so much so rigid rules and regulations, so hard punishment that when we think about committing such kind of crime, we have fear in our mind, we have fear in our heart, and we stop ourselves to committing that kind of crime. Like rape is there, killing is there, so for this harsh punishment is there, harsh punishment is introduced by the state. So this theory is known as theory of deterrence. Now after this, capital punishment is an effective way to stop crime. So this is considered that this deterrence theory is the way, is the solution to stop the basically all the crimes which are very heinous, which are very brutal, right? Now when we talk about capital punishment, it is an effective way to stop crime. This is the type of theory of deterrence. Now tell me that, do you also feel the same, that it will build fear in someone's mind? Can crime be stopped? If it is so, then why we are seeing so many numbers still in the society where the fear is? So this theory of deterrence, is it failing somewhere? These are the questions that should come in your mind when you are reading philosophy. Now we are going to understand this with different thinkers also, and we are going to understand that how they supported capital punishment and how they criticized it. Now let's move forward to the next concept of capital punishment. Now, humanist organization argues that death penalty is the ultimate cruel and inhuman degrading punishment. Now, if we look at the today's scenarios also, so on 2nd February, this news came that Supreme Court is, considering that we should give capital punishment in rarest of rare cases. So somewhere this matches the ideologies of humanist organization also. So what they are saying, for like 3 consecutive here, what is happening? They are not allowing the capital punishment, death penalty. So for 3 consecutive years, for 2024, 25 and 26, they are not giving capital punishment. Now Supreme Court said that in rarest of rare cases only we should consider this kind of punishment. Now this came from the Bachchan case, where Supreme Court said the similar thing, right? Now this capital punishments, right? In this, humanist organization is saying that we should not give these kind of punishment because this is against humanism, right? Killing someone to stop killing, this is not a logical solution that we are coming up with, right? And Supreme Court also said that this capital punishment is irreversible. What is irreversible? It cannot go back. It can happen that trial courts can make some mistakes also. Evidences can be manipulated. Things can go wrong. Basically, this government is run by whom? Humans only, and humans can make mistake, right? So this is considered by Supreme Court, and they are saying that in rarest of rare case, where we are not seeing any kind of reform in that person, where we know that that person is very dangerous for the society, and that person can harm in future also. If these cases are occurring, only then we have to consider these kind of punishment. Otherwise, we have to move with a life imprisonment, or we have to see that if that person is changing or not. So capital punishment should be in the rarest of rare cases. Now, after this, Amnesty International recorded at least 579 executions in 18 countries in 2021. So this data is showing to us that this type of punishment is still occurring, right? Which basically humanists are against at. Now this type of punishment is still there, so somewhere this tells about the society also, what kind of society we are living in, right? Basically what kind of mentality we have. So this connects us with what? Psychological level also. Now after this, it further reported that at least 28,670 people were known to be under sentence of death globally at the end of 2021. Now this also tells us कि कितनी ज्यादा जरूरत है और basically these mental stress and these psychological evidences and how much reform is needed in this society. So capital punishment सिर्फ एक reality को नहीं लेकर आता. This is not only telling us about the governance, this is telling us the reality of the society, that how society is forming, how we are living in it, and what are the changes this world is bringing it to us. Basically how we are living with it, right? So capital punishment के साथ साथ में there are lots of questions which are coming in our mind. Moving forward, now in 2021 most known executions took place in China, Iran, Egypt, Saudi Arabia and basically in these places. तो यहाँ पर जो है हमारे पास में सबसे ज्यादा executions देखने को मिले हैं, right? So these basically tells us two things. या तो वहां की गवर्नमेंट बहुत ज्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग है एंड दे आर वेरी स्ट्रिक्ट अबाउट द रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस एंड अबाउट द मेंटेनेंस ऑफ दोज रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस, अबाउट देयर अबाउट द वायलेंस, और दूसरी चीज कि वहां पे क्राइम बहुत ज्यादा हो रहा है. तो दीज टू रीजंस कुड बी देयर. ठीक है, दिस इज अंडरस्टूड कि जो हमारा चाइना है वो वर्ल्ड लीडिंग एग्जीक्यूशंस में है क्योंकि वहां का जो स्ट्रिक्ट पॉलिसीज है अबाउट वायलेंस इट्स वेरी वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग, राइट. उसके बाद में एक्सक्लूडिंग 80% चाइना, 80% ऑफ ऑल रिपोर्टेड एग्जीक्यूशंस टुक प्लेस इन जस्ट 3 कंट्रीज, ईरान, इजिप्ट एंड सऊदी अरेबिया. ठीक है, तो एम्नेस्टी इंटरनेशनल के हिसाब से बांग्लादेश इज वन ऑफ द कंट्रीज विद द हाईएस्ट नंबर ऑफ एग्जीक्यूशन इन द एशियन पैसिफिक रीजन. नाउ दिस टेल्स अस व्हाट, अभी हमें बांग्लादेश का हाल ही में पता है कि व्हाट द सिचुएशन एंड सिनेरियो हैपेंड देयर, राइट. अगर यही है कि कैपिटल पनिशमेंट, राइट, इज सो इम्पोर्टेंट एंड इफ दिस फियर दैट डिटरेंस थ्योरी दैट वी हैव जस्ट लर्न, इफ इट इज सो इम्पैक्टफुल, देन द सिनेरियो, द सिचुएशन दैट हैपेंड देयर वो तो कुछ उल्टी बता रही है. सो दिस इज टेलिंग अस दैट द डिटरेंस थ्योरी समवेयर फेल्ड. किसी के मन में डर बनाकर रखना कैन नॉट बी द solution. As many thinkers said that if you want to build the society in a beautiful way, then that should come individually. तुम्हारे मन से वो चीज आनी चाहिए, इम्पोज नहीं की जा सकती है कभी भी when it comes to bring stabilization in the world, है ना. and this can be seen in the Bangladesh as well. तो यही सारी चीजें हैं जो कैपिटल पनिशमेंट हमें जो बताती है, राइट. और इसके साथ साथ में there are lots of philosophers, lots of thinkers basically which tells about this. So this is it for today. I'll be back with another part of this टॉपिक जिसके साथ साथ में हम क्राइम एंड पनिशमेंट का भी एक वी आर गोइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड द चैप्टर ऑल्सो एंड वी आर गोइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड फर्दर एक्सप्लेनेशंस ऑल्सो विद केस स्टडीज. For this, what you have to do, you have to subscribe my channel and make sure that you are putting your questions in the comment section. This is it for you now. Thank you so much.